Hey folks, how's it going? Welcome to another vlog with Ryan Vole here. If you like what's going on and want to see more, subscribe. Make sure you thumbs up this video. It's been a couple days. Well, it's been a whole weekend since the last time I chatted with you guys. It was on Friday, and today is Monday, the 5th. So I didn't do a whole lot on the weekend. The weekends for me is just, it's downtime mostly, especially this weekend. The weekend before was a little bit more busy, but this weekend it wasn't busy at all. I watched a few films, mostly historical films, especially on Sunday. It was historical films that I watched, or I call them historical films. They're based on true events that actually happened in history. I also started the new Britannia series that came out by Amazon. I don't know what it's called. It's their streaming network similar to Netflix, but it's by Amazon. So it's an Amazon original, and it's based on when the Romans invaded Britannia, or known as Britain, the isle there. So the second time, not the first time when they tried under Julius Caesar and then turned around and fled. It was the second time under a new emperor. As you know, Julius Caesar was the last, I believe, was the last Caesar, and then after him it was emperor. So after that, because it became a republic. But don't quote me on that. For 100% sure. Sometimes I get some of my facts mixed up. But as you can tell, I love history, which is a good thing. That on Friday, when you saw that video, it showed me. I showed that I applied for school and going to be doing that and beginning in March. So I'm quite excited. I can't wait for this month to get over with in a way. I can't wait. I also spoke to you in a video before why I'm able to travel. So for those that don't know, I am going on a trip this month, which is super excited about. I'm going to Egypt, so I'm going to have my exposure in public, so I'm going to be totally exhausted the first week or so in March, because I'll be around people. But like I said, when I'm on vacation, it's totally different. Everyone's nice to you. It's a total different atmosphere than it is like going to the store, going to any type of event in your regular day-to-day lives. It's just people are totally different. When they're on vacation, they're 100% friendly towards you, because I don't know, don't ask me why. Like, even the locals make sense why they're friendly to you. They're trying to get your money. They want you to buy something from them or give them a tip or something. So it's a little bit monetary of why they're friendly to you, but I mean, you don't get this feeling that you're being judged because of what you chose to wear that day or anything. People they don't care, because they're more interested in what they're seeing and what they're doing. And I don't know, it is totally different, and that's why I can travel, because it's an escape from my reality as well. It's where I don't have as much anxiety and stuff like that as just going to a restaurant or going to a store or going to see the movies. And it's really hard to explain why I have a hard time doing that stuff. and yet I have no problem doing travel. And it's I can associate the two differently, disassociate them with each other. They're two different atmospheres, two different things. Like you have less to worry about when you're on vacation, and that's the thing. That's what you want to do when you're on vacation. It's escape from reality. It's escape from your life. You don't want to think about those responsibilities. You don't want to worry and anything. So I think that's what makes it so good for me, because, and even my doctor who I saw today, and my counselor who I saw last week, and my psychologist who I saw last week, they all encourage me to continue traveling, because it's one thing I'm still able to do by pushing myself to go out in public. So today I went to see my doctor, and then I went up and saw my parents. After that, and they get some stuff from their place. Normally they would be working today, but unfortunately they were sick today, which is unfortunate. But for me it was fortunate, because I haven't seen them in a couple of weeks, so I got to see them and have lunch with them. So that was pretty nice. And then I came back and got my groceries and dropped off my prescription, and decided, because there was going to be about an hour wait, decided I'd go back later, and because I have to get a refill on another one, which means it won't be refilled till tomorrow. I'm just going to pick up my medication and my diabetes test strips tomorrow instead. So that gives me a reason to leave the house tomorrow. Woo! Because I have nothing else going on this week at the moment, and that's at the moment the psychologist has just done the assessment, and so it's got to be approved. The funding for me to continue to see her has to be approved by Veterans Affairs. So at the moment there is no appointment with her for this week, and my counselor, she's away this week, so I really don't have anything to get me out of the house this week. So having moved off my meds to pick them up until tomorrow gives me another reason to leave the house, which is great, which is a good thing, because it gives me that little bit of exposure to get out, and then I can't wait till the 22nd, because that's when my flight takes off from Toronto. So I'm looking forward to that. I will be filming that, and I'll be filming my experience, a little bits and pieces here and there. When I'm allowed to take video of, at least I will video with my DSLR. I don't know how well the sound's going to be. Well, you heard the sound from at that Guelph prison on the second video I did, I believe, and so that's what the sound will be like, because I don't have a proper mic to pick up. But I think the sound was pretty decent on it, because you could pick up my friend in the background who wasn't right there. So it picked up her sound, so it should pick up my sound should be fine. It'll probably pick up a lot of noise from other tourists and everything. So that week for about a little over a week, we'll pretty much have no video, most likely, unless I decide to do it by my mobile phone and do a little update. But besides that, I don't think there's going to be much. As for what I watched this weekend, some of the movies were Made in America, which was based on the life of Barry Seal, and he was a drug smuggler for Pablo Escobar until his assassination in 1986, I believe, by the Colombians, they believe, because the DEA, well, he's going to be charged, and he did a deal with the DEA. So that movie is pretty good. It's with Tom Cruise. And then another movie I watched was The Man with the Iron Heart, which is about pretty much like the highest ranking officer in the Nazi regime. He is the one that's I believe was responsible for the idea of the gas chambers for the Nazis during the Holocaust. He was the brains behind the Holocaust. But anyways, this is about a little bit about his background from when he was in the Navy under the German, well, not the German. His name is Reinhard Heydrich, and so he was an officer for Weimar Republic from 1922 until 1931, when the Nazis took over and became the overall state party for all of them, and that's when they pretty much united all of the German countries, Germanic countries into one under one political system. But it's still different. They still had their own countries and stuff like that, because the Weimar Republic was 1918 to 1933. Some other countries went longer. I believe the country where my family on my father's side originally came from, when I looked it up, it was its own country until 1947. So the German system was quite different. So that was the second one that I saw. And then the third movie that I saw was called The Lost City of Zed, and it was a really good one. Unfortunately, it did not make enough money to compensate for how much it cost to actually make. So how much they made in theaters was way less than what the cost of the movie was, which is saddening to learn that. It's about this British officer who when he was doing his schooling, he did surveying. So anyways, he gets posted from Ireland back to London and to the Geological Survey Council or Society, and so anyways, they ask him to go to Brazil and Bolivia to mark out the border, because there was tension between the two countries in 1906. This is based on a true story. So he goes there, and while he's there, he discovers stuff that he believes is evidence for a lost civilization that dates older than the English civilization. So he manages to convince the people in the society to let him go back to the Amazon and search for it, and then they end up not finding it, and he ends up going back to England, and then shortly after he's returned, World War I breaks out, so he has to go to the World War I, and then he returns after that. And after a few years, when his his oldest son, is old enough, his oldest son decides that he wants to continue this search for this lost civilization, and this city that Piercy named Zed. So others believe it's El Diablo, is this lost city, the name of it. But anyways, so him and his son go back in 1925, and that's the last anyone ever heard from them. Where the two ended up, no one knows. But anyways, in 2006, a journalist started doing research in it, and ended up writing a book about it, and that's what the movie's based off, is his research. And in the end, this researcher believed that they ended up finding this tribe, and ended up living the rest of their lives with the tribe, or possibly killed by the tribe, because the tribes in that area are not 100% friendly with outsiders coming in. So no one really knows, but it ended up in an interesting way. And there's this one part that I really like. This one part that he said in the movie, and it reflects the reason why to travel. It is so good.
So much of life is a mystery, my boy. We know so little of this world. But you and I have made a journey that other men cannot even imagine. And it has given understanding to our hearts.
So, as you saw there, that's the part of the movie that I really loved. I really loved his ambition, why we travel, why we explore, and that to me that's my life. That's why I love to travel. That's why I want to see the world, and so it was so good. The other thing I'm doing is I am reading by George R.R. Martin, the fourth book in A Song of Ice and Fire, or also known as the Game of Thrones series. It is called A Feast of Crows, and it's started off really good. I think I'm on the fourth chapter right now. I am a very slow reader. I read right before I go to bed most nights, about one chapter at a time. But yeah, it's a really good book. Yes, and there's some surprises, and then there's some not surprises, because I am caught up completely on the TV series Game of Thrones. And unfortunately, the TV series is further than the books are released at this moment. But yeah, I'm really liking how it's going. It gives a lot more in depth than what the TV series shows. And if you saw my other video when I talked about the ending of the last book, that really was good. I loved how it ended, the last book, and I'm really enjoying how this one's going. There is different bits and pieces that just make it sound so much more interesting than the TV series was able to do. So yeah, I'm loving it, and that's what's been going on. As for my feelings of anxiety's been down. My blood pressure was actually very normal today, around 117 over 80 something. So that was very, very good. Lately, it was usually when I go to the doctor's office, it's like 130 over 90 something, and or even 140 over 90 something. And so to be back down to normal was a good feeling. To have that back to normal. My mood is not really changed yet, but it's not alarming. Like, there shouldn't be bells going off saying, "Oh, I need to put me in the hospital," or anything at the moment. So yeah, I just need to work on my exposure of being out in public, and tomorrow we'll be able to work on that with going out to get my medication, I guess. And then we'll see what we can do Wednesday, Thursday, and possibly Friday. Friday, I do get my children in the evening, which will be great. We'll have a weekend and see what we can do for the weekend. We might be able to go out and do something, and that will give me another exposure. But anyways, I'm going to cut this video here for now. It's been about 24 minutes already. So I hope to see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.